Hello and welcome back to Pints with Pal. My name is Mike, and join with me today is Jeremy. Say hi, Jeremy.
Hey, Mr. DeVille, I'm ready for my close-up. Hey, what's going on, guys? How's everyone doing?
It's been a minute since we recorded last, but for you guys, it's tomorrow or whatever, next Tuesday. Tonight we are revisiting a beer for us, new for you guys. When we were down in Lexington, Kentucky, we went to the West 6th Brewing, which was confusing to say for whatever reason, but it's an amber ale. This was the one that I really liked this one, so I was happy to find it when we went to the store. Jeremy picked basically really everything else, store. I think. Yeah, it was like comparable to like a Total Wine.
Total Wine, yeah.
Because they had just all kinds of stuff. Uh-oh. I got a smidge of bubblies. Looks okay, though.
Grab me a little bit of a paper towel real quick.
Mine is, it started to bubble over, but then it kind of locked back down. It is very, well, you guys can't really see it, but it's very amber for me.
That's on mine poured when I was trying to get in the cup.
Oh, mine started foaming up when I opened it.
Take me a minute.
Well, the good news is the foam the head has a lot of smell, and it's a good smell.
It smells delightful.
Wow, it's it doesn't smell as bitter like as an amber. Typically, I feel like an amber and a brown can be kind of bitter, like really harsh in some terms, I guess.
I think it's how it's made, because I find brown should be malty, really.
Yeah,
I'm about to give mine a chance to calm down some. No, but yeah, ambers can be bitter. They can also be a little sweet sometimes too. Like Alaskan Brewing makes a amber that my neighbor really, really enjoys. I enjoy them too. He actually goes to Alaska and he brings them back. So they're pretty tasty beers. Yeah, still waiting for the honeycomb to die down some there.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. But I don't want to cloud your first sips. Once the head starts dying down, it starts to get a little bit of metallic smell. Metallic smell.
We're gonna get sued. Or watch it. There's some suing fools.
But that could be due to it was bottled on like 4 or something of 2024, so it's almost like 10 months old. I would say that's still probably in the wheelhouse of, especially in a can. I think that the cans typically don't like leach anything.
No,
but
no, I think it's pretty solid.
It's got a little bit of
malty, more hoppy, I would say.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a sweet hoppy flavor is what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Ironically, my first homebrew kit that I got was an amber.
Yeah, I haven't done one. I did a red for my first one. I think so. Ambers are what I tend to kind of gravitate toward in a brewery setting, just because I feel like it's a little bit easier to kind of hide some of the mistakes in an amber for whatever reason. Yeah. Just because there's a lot of flavor. A lot of flavor is imparted by like the hops and the malt typically. So like any water imperfections or pH acidity or baseness, I think it kind of rounded out a little bit better in the ambers. But I think it's just probably overall just an easier, more forgiving, like an ale versus like a lager or like a Helles or something of that nature. It's just gonna be a little bit more forgiving if you go to like a bar or a brewery. Their ambers, I feel like, are pretty consistent.
Yeah. I guess I'm more on the opposite side. I usually try to get, when I go to breweries, I always try to get, like I said before, lagers, Cloches, Hellas's, whatever, really a lager beer basically. And then I'll try the other stuff. Ambers are not my go-to. I prefer a red over an amber myself if I want to go for something like just off of color itself. I mean, that's actually more brown, I guess, than red.
Almost amber.
Yeah, it was amber. Close. I knew an amber once. She was not this color.
Yeah, it looks. I would say that that's a pretty golden brown.
You know what it reminds me of? Like almost like my brown ale, my honey brown ale, or no, my maple brown ale.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of leaning toward more of a brown ale, but again, age could play a factor in it too, because it could like, depending on how long you've had it in your fridge, it could like start to settle. Like the can at the bottom was definitely darker than the top, so it's like lagering in a can. But I think that reviewing it again now, I think that it's better. At least I'm remembering it better on tap than I think. I don't really think I care for it as much in the can right now as I did. If I went there, I would get it for sure and I would enjoy it. But so I'm going to give it like a 3, probably a 3.75 or 3.57. One of those two. I'm going to go 3.5 just because I'm not
5. Sure.
I think I would rather have your beer than this one.
I'm going to give it a 3.6 just to be even, not odd. Or multiple, maybe, or divisible. I don't know, something like that.
I do definitely feel like this is something that I want to make. And it's kind of more of a winter beer for me, I think. Ambers and reds and stuff are like fall, like fall to spring are like my like wheelhouse for a more flavorful, probably like punchy beer, I think. Like in the winter times, I feel like, because I always get like that red faced when I start drinking stuff like that, and I think that it's because I'm getting warm, so like my body's just like rejecting the alcohol in a creating a bunch of heat kind of way. So it's a good winter sipper.
So I want to go back to something you said a second or about a minute ago now about like the difference from being on tap versus can and bottle. I find that myself to be more true than not. Like, don't pick on me, but I really enjoy Blue Moon on tap. I think it's a great pizza beer. Like if I go to like pizzeria that have it, I think it's just a great beer to have with my pizza. Buying it just for myself, like a can or bottle, like I don't like it. It don't taste right. There's just something off about it. I don't know what it is. And I've noticed that about a few other breweries I've gone to. Like I'll buy like a 4-pack from them to help support them, but then I get home and I drink. I was like, it tasted nothing like it did on tap.
It could. I've had to go both ways too. Like I've had like the can or the bottle or whatever I took home taste a little better.
Interesting.
Depending on what it is, because it's like I think that it's probably only in like the heavier beers, like the imperial stouts and things of that nature, because it potentially puts some age, kind of rounds out some of the bitterness and kind of pushes it closer to like maybe like a caramel and or like raisin. So it kind of gives it like a little bit stone fruity flavors. But like Killian's, that's decent on tap. It's terrible in the bottle. Oberon is like a crapshoot because I feel like
I choose every year anyways.
Yeah, but like you could have orange juice if you get the top of the first pour. So like not the top of the keg, but like the first pour is like pulling all the stuff out of the sludge from the bottom, and then the last pour could be like it's like an Oberon. It's like an Oberon ale because it sat there for if it sat there long enough. So there's like just weird stuff, and then I feel like the bottles just are all basically the same. Like they must try and mix it while they're
Could be to
bottling.
blend it. Yeah. So I think, and I've seen it, as why I think this is like when they make your 4-pack, especially if they're making it like right then, they're not purging the cans. They're just filling it with beer and sealing it and going. So I feel like a little bit of oxygen gets in there, it kind of alters the flavor, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, because this was a smaller brewery, so that could be the case for these too. Typically they just want to. So at least what I've seen is they just like fill it and try and get a little bit of foam, and then use that foam to like purge the alcohol,
on it,
purge the
air, oxygen.
Yeah. But
Yep.
So, did you have a recipe that you think would match with this, or that you would like to brew?
Not necessarily with this one, but like an overall amber. So this is nothing like, so the one I did to begin with was by Northern Brewer. You can buy that kit and you can just make it, and it makes a great beer. So, but I went a little further, and it came with my own grain build. It's about 10 pounds of grain altogether. But you're gonna need about 8 pounds of pale malt. Gonna use about a pound of Munich malt, and Munich malt's gonna give like a little more of the malty kind of flavor that we kind of want in a amber. And then 8 ounces of caramel malt, 6 ounces of biscuit, and about 2 ounces of carafa. Carafa again is like for head retention, which you probably saw like in the video. Like I had monstrosity, honeycomb head going on there. So we're going to. This is going to be like a short, shoddy version. So I'm only going to boil this for 30 minutes. So at 30 minutes, I'm going to have a half ounce of Warrior hops. And then at the last 15 minutes, you're going to add in like, your wort chiller, your Warflock tablet, Irish moss, whatever you're using. And then half ounce of Amarillo and Centennial. And I thought to give a little more of like the bitter, or not actually a bitter aroma, but like the more like it's floral, citrusy kind of smell on the nose. Like we do a hop stand, which I think we talked about before, but basically a hop stand is you want to bring the wort down to about 176 degrees. We're going to add in about an ounce of Amarillo and 1 ounce of Centennial, and just kind of let that sit for about 10 minutes. And just keep it like kind of reducing the temperature of it. Once you get down to your pitching tint. No, that's not what I was saying. Yep. Pitching temp. We're going to use 1 pack of Kvass. I want to turn the sucker quick. I did that on purpose. We got to get the joke somehow. So this should ferment within like a week or less. Like it should be a really fast beer, so that's it. That's what I got for this one.
Yeah, so I've been playing around with some yeast, like when I bought the liquid yeast, I used it twice for the Kolsch, and then I took it out and washed it again. I actually washed it this time to try and get all the dregs out of it and stuff like that. And it's in, do you know those big gallon glass things we got from the Apple store? I forget what the place was in Tennessee, but so I used one of those. Yeah. And it left like, there's like an inch of like yeast cake around the whole thing again. And then there's like this much dregs in the bottom of that. So I have to wash it again, but that looks like it's going to be a lot of yeast from like two
you get those little vials so you can store them.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and do something kind of weird. Like I think I might try and do your blueberry honey ale with it, to see if I can get kind of a Germany-y kind of flavor into that, and see if that kind of changes the flavors. I don't know yet whether or not I want to do blueberries or blueberry extract. I feel like I'm still on the fence with both of those. I feel like extract is just going to be safer, I guess. So I don't have to so I don't ruin it. I could split the batch and do 2 separate ones into things to see if it tastes any different. But the thing I'm worried about, I guess, is if I do a split batch, the ABV is going to be a little bit higher in the one with the actual blueberries, because it's going to eat the blueberry
a little bit,
sugars. Speaking of ABV, this was 5.5.
Oh yeah, I guess we didn't cover that. My apologies.
I thought of
I
that
don't
when
know
you
what
were
IBU is though.
yeah. It
I don't think
doesn't.
it says on the can.
No,
Yeah.
it does not say on the can.
So I think I just want to ask this random question. I may ask this for like the last because we only have like a few more episodes left and we'll be done. Do you guys want us to do like product reviews on anything or talk about what products we've bought? Because we've talked about them, but we've never actually showed them off in any way, shape, or form. Just something to kind of throw out there. If so, let us know. Between me and Mike, we got a few different odds and ends we can chit chat about here and there.
Quite a few, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'd like to say thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to have a pint with your pals.
Yes. Also, please like, comment, subscribe, drink responsibly, ask questions, give us thumbs up, share this with your friends. We want this to grow. We're at 40 strong. We want to be 400 strong.
Yep. Exactly. That was a cheers.
Awkward ending. I love it.
Just walk away into the bush.